Sweet, we're up and running. Kia ora and welcome to week 10 of the National League Roundup. We're closing in on the end. The men's grand final is in sight, and we've also got the New Zealand Derby this weekend as well. First, however, we will touch upon the women's grand final. Auckland United 1, Eastern Suburbs 0.
Okay, really good tight game to have in the grand final. Congratulations, of course, goes to Auckland United. Great setting that they had at Kite Park. It looks like it was brimmed to the actual rafters. But just one goal in it. A lovely finish to make it 1-0. But all in all, a good day out, and it was great to see a grand final at an actual home ground rather than at somewhere like QBE Stadium.
Yeah. Eastern Suburbs, they put up a good fight. Honestly, they were probably the better team in that second half as well, I'd argue. They created some really good chances that they just... it's their own fault that they couldn't get themselves back in the game. They had the chances to do it and they just couldn't capitalise. But based off what Mark said, they're a rather young team. So I do have hopes for them in the coming future, especially with sort of no Auckland team to come in and, pick the squad apart yet. That's still a couple of years away, so you'd hope they're able to, garner some success in that time.
And obviously, back again, Auckland United will be going over to OFC sometime in the next 12 months. So,
if I'm not mistaken, there's a new Women's Club World Cup or something there starting up.
Yes.
Yeah, so Auckland United, I imagine, will be a part of that. And yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to week 10 of the National League. Couldn't have asked for a better set of results, really, regarding opening up the National League race. Miramar Rangers open us up 2-1 over Western Suburbs. Martin Bueno, yet again. I dare say he's pushing for player of the season of how he's gone so far.
Almost in big occasion, you fall onto one man alone. And Martin Bruno just put his hand up and said, yep, how about I'll just get us a couple of goals and then we'll be in with a shout for next week. And it was a good game. Western Suburbs put up a good fight. But Miramar Rangers opening up the game, the scoring chart within the first minute.
Yeah, a bit of playing out from the back gone wrong and a great finish.
Really good finish.
Yeah. Not much else to say, really. A rather expected result. And then moving on to Wellington Olympic, who I jinxed. This game was actually pushed back to the Sunday. They went on to win it 3-0 anyway. Bazooka, Scully and Prinz with all the goals.
Quite funny. We had quite a travel disrupted Saturday, full of chaos. And then to top it all off, the Olympic game got called off in the 60th minute, and they had to wait about an hour and a half for the pitch to dry out so they can play another 30 minutes of football.
Yeah.
And there was a picture of Gavin Hoy and who is their centre back, their captain?
Ben Mata.
Ben Mata. Them going out with rakes and trying to get all the water off the pitch.
Yeah. Wild weather on Sunday, to say the least. And then Birkenhead a bit late on, starting getting 3 points against the next reserves. I think this is kind of just a dead rubber for both teams. It was get some minutes in the legs for some of the Knicks boys, and Burko lads are just doing a final lap just about.
They're doing the final lap of honour, and trust me, I felt very, very sorry for them turning up at Auckland Airport, get diverted to Christchurch, get off the plane at Auckland, get on the plane to Christchurch. Their starting 11 turns up in Wellington, having to wait for their coaches and their subs, and having a 20-minute warm-up, and they were running up and down the bus trying to get warmed up as they go. So I felt quite sorry for them, and they got the 3 points somehow.
Yeah, and that's even with multiple outgoings in the last couple of weeks as well, including key attackers such as what was it, Hughes, Susky, and Donkers, I believe it was.
Yeah, massive
Yeah,
outgoing, but they're doing it tough at the moment. The club up
yeah.
Birkenhead.
And then a shock result, I'd say, in the OPL derby. Christchurch United just got pantsed. Like I was quietly confident that the boys could get something out of this, but by God, did they pump them! Van
No,
Fitzharris and some absolutely fantastic goals as well. Van Fitzharris Olympico, DeJourn Nader with a really great curled finish from close range. Aston Burns getting on the end of a lovely through ball, and goal of the week, Nick Gaze, who just poked a foot out and lobbed the keeper from a corner.
it's quite literally like I predicted. Obviously Christchurch will win, and people are like, "Well, you're so dumb wanting like Auckland's going to win easily," and I was like, "No chance." And it's 4-1, and I'm like, "What the? What happened here?"
Yeah, very promising signs for, I'd imagine, like, very promising signs for the Northern League next year. Like, there was a big transition period for the reserves. A lot of those lads were going from 2 to 4 games. 2 to 4 trainings a week. So it seems like that is now, like, showing the fruits of the labour. And,
100%, like, and it's credit to not only the players but also the like Auckland keeping them at it. So might need to get closer to my mic. Is that better? Hopefully that's better.
I'll turn you up a little bit on my end.
Thank you. It's credit to like coaching and all of that to keep at it for so long because they've used pretty much all of their players available.
Yeah. And, like, I think something I've seen a lot of, especially in, like, the odd Instagram picture, is you see a lot of the reserves lads, regulars taking part in training. Like, you see Everton O'Leary, Ralph Rutherford, Sam Lack. Those guys are often taking part in those training sessions, and, that clearly makes a difference.
Even like somebody like Matt Hotman, who you don't regularly see in the reserves team, I see him all the time popping up for AFC first team trainings.
Yeah. Well, even I believe he was on the bench against Heidelberg or something, was it?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and then moving on to the next game, Western Springs misery just continues to pile up. I tried to curse it. I picked Auckland City, but Auckland City are just doing their absolute best to sneak in.
I tell you what, I count them out, but now I'm like, Auckland City's in this final.
Oh yeah,
like
they'll find
Auckland City. They find a way. Like poke the bear, and the bear woken up.
I'm sitting here for weeks just going, it's going to happen, and here we are, 3-1 win, but Western Springs took it deep, but David Yu off to South Island United sealed the result and added time to make it 3-1. Yeah.
Really, and really competitive as well. I was actually quite impressed with that game. It looked like a really good professional game of football.
Yeah, and Coastal Spirit, of course, on a bye, giving them their rest after getting that 3 points versus Western Springs. I imagine with that rest, we should see, a fantastic result, I'm sure. Looking at you, Nick, as they take on Auckland City, who require, I believe it is, at least a 10-goal win to get a home final. But we'll get more into that once we get into next week's fixtures. So table at the moment, Miramar top on 19 points, Wellington Olympic second on 18, Auckland City third on 17, Western Springs fourth on 16, and AFC Reserves fifth on 15, Christchurch United sixth on 14, Burco seventh, Western Suburbs 8th, Auckland United 9th, Nix Reserves 10th, and Coastal Spirit 11th. So yeah.
Not really. It depends on like you've got the Battle of Wooden Spoons this weekend. You've got the race for the grand final. I mean, it's pick your choice out of 4 teams who's going to make the grand final.
Yeah, basically, because we'll go through sort of what each team needs realistically once we'll move on. We'll move on to the fixtures, and before we get into specifics, we'll talk about what exactly these teams need in order to qualify. So Western Springs, the only way they get in is if Miramar win and Auckland City lose. I believe is basically the only way.
Yeah.
Because I'll just have a quick look back at the table. So yeah, if because if Wellington draw, then they need to win by like 4 or 5 goals. So like if
against Burko.
Yeah. So it's Burko have been whittled down a bit, but it's sort of like Western Springs aren't in great form. It's very much a toss up. That one, so you kind of don't want to be. You'll be hoping that Martin Bueno and Miramar can do some damage and open the door for you a bit. That also requires 100%. Auckland City to draw or lose to Coastal, which, with the form they've been in the last few weeks, is going to be a tough ask of Coastal.
I know somebody from Coastal who can move part.
Oh yeah, there's one man we are asking for to stand up on Derby Day of all days, though he's not taking part in the Derby.
Just stand up and he's going to rinse Auckland City.
It'll be West Coast Rangers all over again. But yeah, Olympic basically just need a result. A result likely sees them through. So draw, win. Then Auckland City. Yeah, Auckland City won, they're through. It's pretty much that simple with the Olympic Miramar result. No matter who wins that, they're through as long as they win.
And then it would pretty much be whoever wins hosts. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, whoever. Whoever wins between Miramar and Olympic hosts.
I don't know about Olympic because I don't know what the requirements are for broadcasting standards. And Wakefield Park is obviously on turf.
Yeah.
So it makes things a little bit more difficult. But with all being said, it looks like it's going to be a grand final in the capital.
Yeah. There is the outside chance that Auckland City beat Coastal Spirit by 10 goals and Miramar and Wellington draw. So there is that, I believe. Actually, now that I think about it, they might have to make it 11 because of the tiebreaker on goal differential. I would probably assume be goals scored or matches won.
I tell you what, as soon as it goes over 5, it's chaos.
Yeah.
Complete chaos. As soon as 5 goes in, it's going to be absolute chaos in QBT Street.
The opportunity for a home final will just wave under their nose. And yeah. So that will be definitely an interesting game to keep an eye on. Anyway, we'll move on to the individual fixtures now. As we've said, Olympic versus Miramar. It's either way, honestly.
You can't ask for a better game to end the season.
Yeah, they're the two form teams at the moment.
It's literally one of the biggest derbies in New Zealand.
Yeah.
You've only really got 3 main derbies in New Zealand, and that's the Dominion Road Derby, the Hamilton Derby, and the World Classico, whatever they call it. I don't actually know what they call it down there.
I think you're missing a derby there.
What derby? Oh! On derby. Oh no! On derby weekend as well. 3 amateur derbies, only 1 professional derby.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is going to be a very exciting game to watch. A few players saying a short farewell, as a few of them are off to OFC Pro League teams, and as goes from a lot of these players really taking part. And then following that, the big one, Auckland City Coastal Spirit. When I mean big one, I mean lots of goals, hopefully for Auckland City, they'll be hoping. Coastal Spirit will basically just be looking to keep the score down, I imagine.
Yeah, Coastal will just be going just to try. They'll be wanting to play big upsets.
Yeah.
They'll just be wanting to go there and upset a party.
Yeah, and then local game at Endeavour Park, Western Suburbs versus Knicks Reserves. Again, bit of a dead rubber. Game.
Yeah, if you were Western Suburbs, might be playing a couple of youngsters to try and get them a little bit of minutes, get them a little bit of experience. But
get them in the shop window as well. Playing against Knicks Reserves. Hope they have a big game. Yeah. Then moving on to the Northern League title rematch, really. Burco versus Western Springs. Burco had the opportunity to win the Northern League when Western Springs slipped on the final day. However, while Burco were busy laughing at how Western Springs slipped, they proceeded to slip.
so like last day of like Northern League, it was just like who can slip up the most, and it was slipping up left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting game.
Yeah, Western Springs have to win under every circumstance. That there is no other possible result for them that gets them into the grand final. So it'll be a very interesting considering they play after everyone else has played. So they'll be the final team to essentially decide things.
So it could either be a really good game or it could be a really bad game. Because no Western Springs are just, if they can't make it, they're just going to be like, oh, let's go and have a good round.
Yeah. So it'd be very interesting, especially those 15 minutes. I'm very curious to see how Springs approach that game. Shamish, we're trying to egg him on here.
We know that he's a lurky.
He's a cheeky little lurker.
He is. He always is.
We're hoping to fire him up. And I've got a little name we could throw out for this, the Day 1 derby, considering Auckland United were the first team to play against Auckland FC.
Day 1 derby. And Fred Taylor as well.
Yeah.
So, have we double checked that their pitch is like proper size, that like it's like 5 meters at one side?
I'd assume they have got that under control, hopefully. But yeah, Auckland FC Reserves versus Auckland United. Again, bit of a dead rubber. If Auckland FC Reserves could qualify, I think they were mathematically out anyway. If Springs City and Olympic lost, they would have technically been eligible if they'd won. But they are ineligible to play anyway, so it does not matter.
It's pretty much a dead rubber game, and like Auckland United will be trying to play for pride. They haven't had the greatest season.
I would say that this is probably the last chance that some of these players in the Auckland FC Reserves have to maybe prove themselves to stay on next year.
Yeah. Same with the Phoenix. Actually, I forgot to mention that.
It's a good point.
The exact same with the Phoenix is that the two clubs, they'll be having conversations as we speak.
Yeah.
About players.
Yeah, especially with Oceania Pro League for Auckland, because a few of those lads will get knocked up to that team, which will open spaces in that reserves team. So I imagine there'll be a few young lads that are really looking to establish themselves. I'm looking at maybe a Ryan Mackey to really settle into the reserves and establish himself as a starting centre back there, because he was very in and out of the team. I wouldn't be surprised if this is James Taylor's last game, for example. He's not really lit the attack on fire for Auckland, and yeah.
So, unfortunately, it's a way of football.
Yeah.
You're either making the cut or you're not going to make the cut. Unfortunately, with football being such a cutthroat activity in sport, it's a way of life.
Yeah. The other thing is we may get to see some of these younger, brighter talents maybe get a few more minutes than they normally would as well. Say like your Ben Baldonis, your Nathan Martins, they're all back from various international competition and will be basically eyeing up the pre-season break.
Speaking of
Yeah.
young talent, I've spent the last 2 days at Western Springs. Great segue. I've spent my last 2 days at Sinfield watching the National Under-17s tournament. It's a great tournament. I love it. Everything. I love catching up with Springs. I caught up with Brock Radich.
Nice.
Um, a couple of and just there watching Melville play football, and it's a really good tournament. Melville's going really well. So,
Hell yeah.
and obviously the MVP of the means goes to AFC Bournemouth for a trial for a week, and also the
2 weeks it is.
Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. 2 players going for 2 weeks, I believe it is.
I wish I could still play. 2 weeks in Bournemouth during winter.
Yeah. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 of the TDC lads. I imagine there's probably, even if a couple lads from outside of that step up, I would be surprised if, say, a Matthias New Year's, a Will Britton, a Sean Kane, a Damien Kim or something goes. You know, those lads that are already in and around the... a boy and a girl, it is apparently.
Yeah, so a boy and a girl. So I'm going to say...
that'll be Taylor Vujnovic, surely, for the girls. Like, she's been tearing it up. Or is she aged out?
You'd have to double check. But you've got
she was at the Under-17 World Cup, I'm pretty sure, for the woman. So I'd assume she's still within that age group. Yeah. Yeah, you'd assume it's her. She's got a hat-trick in that first Under-17s game between the Auckland FC, TDC and Wellington Phoenix. So, yeah.
Or can somebody from Melville completely upset everything? Can we maybe have a Melville representative going to Bournemouth? Hopefully.
It'd be nice.
There's a couple players stepping up at the moment for that team, for both the teams, for the men's and women's. They're playing really good football. Hopefully we see a Melville player going to AFC Bournemouth. Hopefully. Take me with you.
But that'll be a very good experience for them. There's just not really that kind of opportunity. Like, you have teams from internationally coming in that have like these little training camps here in New Zealand and go, oh, you know, if you're good, you'll come with us, kind of thing. But like, Riley Peach is probably the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's actually like seen anything of that. Whereas this is like a true blue opportunity to get into that setup and just see where the level is at, really.
It should trade.
Yeah. It's sort of like, it's one of those things like that with football groups that people often criticise, you know, you're a feeder club, blah, blah, blah. But like with how isolated New Zealand is within the footballing landscape, it's kind of like it's beneficial to us to be a feeder club at this point.
Yeah, 100%. And like even though like, you know, Phoenix, Auckland do a lot of amazing things around the region, like especially here in Hamilton. They're getting more and more involved, so they're getting there. They're getting really good. I'm quite liking what marketing they're doing and the help that they're affording Melville United. So
yeah,
a lot of promising things to come, hopefully.
Yeah, and Christchurch United on the bye. I imagine that was planned, a lot like the first round Auckland City bye, to allow the South Island United players to start their pre-season for OPL and whatnot. And speaking of pro football, we'll use that to segue into the derby.
Great segue. We're liking a good segue tonight.
Derby day tomorrow.
Well, we're going to be up quite early for it because we're hosting a watch-along for the World Cup draw tomorrow. Yep,
I'll be starting the stream at 6. Danny will be joining at 6:30. We'll probably go through the pots and put together sort of a preferred draw, per se, before the actual draw starts, which will probably be 7:30, knowing FIFA and Football Confederations, how they love their speeches. So we'll get into that first thing in the morning, and then we'll be off in the stadium for Derby Day.
Derby Day.
I think this is probably the closest the two teams have really been. Auckland looking a little bit shaky. Knicks picked up a win, their first win since the derby against Adelaide. A good result, really. A little bit topsy-turvy at points there, but, 3 points is 3 points. You can't turn your nose up at that.
It's going to be the best derby we're going to see today.
I don't know, that last one was pretty good, eh?
That last one was pretty good, even though it sent me into oblivion.
Yeah. But, I think, because I'm just thinking, I'm pretty sure this is the first... No, I was about to say this is the first Derby sack I missed, but he wasn't playing in the last one either. But I think it's one of those things where if you guys go on with the same game plan, I think we get 3 points. Like, we've just got the players that are very good at getting in behind, and yeah.
Or could we pull one out of the bag and just be like, you know what, they're going to predict a high line, we're going to switch.
It's funny you say that because I was listening to the Football FIFA podcast on Monday, and Mike Burgess proposed the exact same thing, just nasty low block, first 20 minutes, just mess with the mind. Then, once you've seen off that opening 20, then grow into the game. And so it'd be interesting to see what mind games do end up at play.
I did ask a question to a footballer that I know in Wellington, and I said, are you guys up to it? And it's like, it's been the best week of training we've had in a long time. So, that being said, I think hopefully we get a win, because I just want to shove it into people's face. And how good would it be for me to start dancing leaving Mount Smart Stadium and me just getting punched by a bunch of Auckland fans and probably by my own Melville fans.
Yeah. I think the point that I made last Derby preview still stands. I think you need at least 2 goals if you want to win this Derby, and we're looking a bit shaky at the back, but I don't know whether tweaks could be made, whether maybe JGR gets a rest and, Pinecker gets in there, or whether maybe Hall gets dropped. He looked a little bit iffy. You had a few misplaced passes against Newcastle that weren't in great positions for us. Made a poor clearance as well that led to that first Newcastle goal. Don't
forget that Jacob Wright actually could have been sent off against Newcastle.
Oh, that was... because what that was he played at the ball, then the Newcastle player came in and his leg came down. Like, if you're red carding that, then...
50-50.
No, if you're red carding that, then you're red carding all follow-throughs on shots, which would mean Craig Goodwin would have got sent off against us. Genre got sent off for stamping a Brisbane player in the nuts, and we didn't get that when that happened to Gertrude Reich. Also, I think my shout for this Derby is we get our first penalty. It is the most controversial, dodgy 50-50 penalty of all time, and we miss it. That is my shout.
Classic ugly.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what happens.
Yeah, I was talking to... Who was I talking? I was talking to director of football from Auckland FC, his name, Tim McFlynn. I asked him how the ticket sales are going, and it looks like it's going to be north of 20k.
Yeah, it's basically going to be a sellout, I think. Because, Brandon Day has done the numbers, and there's I think about 1,000 left or something earlier in the day.
My question is that the Western Springs tournament is on. How much of chaos is that going to bring to it? Because a lot of families would have gone, let's go to an AFC game, and then realise that their son is going to be playing during the AFC game.
When does the last game finish?
They're playing until Sunday.
What time on Saturday does it finish?
6 p.m.
Oh, yeah, so there's only really one team affected by that, really, isn't it?
No, there's there's
multiple teams going at once.
Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 5 pitches that will be playing, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 teams.
Oh, okay.
Why did I have to count 10 if I knew that there were 5 pitches?
Even then, I don't think that's that massive of a impact, because that's because you're not guaranteed to have every parent at all those games, and then siblings as well, and so you're missing maybe 100 to 200 people.
Yeah. It would have been nice for maybe Springs and for AFC to work a little bit together on that.
Yeah, that would have been
Maybe
ideal,
just be
but
like,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think we take 3 points. I think the Port's been fucking going hard. You know, their last game was, I think, very good from us. Not to wax.
Almost got drowned.
Yeah, just about. But the way the concrete was in the stand, it was, you could see all the rubbish floating under the stand and all that, and it was just like, poor Jono in his wheelchair had to go down and under and through all that. Poor guy, and yeah, it was ankle deep in front of the stand. It was just wild stuff.
I'm gonna go for a Phoenix win.
Of course,
I really am.
Understandable.
Well, you're gonna go for an Auckland win, so I'm gonna go for a Phoenix win.
Yeah,
and people are still gonna say that I'm gonna be biased. Okay, that's gonna come out somewhere in a comment, sometimes, or in like a group chat that I'm in. It's gonna come out that I'm biased. But
No, I understand that point of view. You guys are coming off the back of a good win, showed a bit of graft in that game and looked positive.
does Sam Cosgrave start? That's my.
I think he
question.
does. Yeah.
He hasn't been good recently though.
I think the problem with a striker like Cosgrove is he's only as good as the team behind him. Where like his job at the end of the day is to put the ball in the back of the net. If you don't provide him with chances, he can't do that. You know, and like we have not provided him with chances. Like that Jets game, for example, if you gave him 2 or 3 of the chances that Jesse Randall got, I would absolutely back him to score 2 or 3 of them. You know, like, yeah, it's one of those things. Like if you give him good chances, he's going to score. You know, like Eze, for example, like he's had like of his 3-4 goals. There was that one goal against Auckland, fantastic strike on his part, but the other 2 were basically tap-ins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, from recollection.
Yeah, that's just he's a slightly different profile of striker. He's a bit quicker, likes getting in the channels. Yeah,
And had the aim of a storm.
Yeah, I was about to say that is absolutely accurate. He was so poor that game. Had a really nice chip that just went wide as well. It was just not his day in front of goal. What I wouldn't be surprised to see selection-wise is possibly Mai on the bench with Gillian up top, and that very classic, like, big, slow, little fast combo up top, you know?
Yeah, it worked well for them. I fully agree.
Something else I wouldn't mind seeing as well was something that popped up during Manchester United's 22-23 season when they had Wout Weghorst up top. And what would happen is when they went for long goal kicks, Weghorst would shift into the 10, Rashford would move up top, and then Bruno Fernandes would move out to left wing, and like they would just aim to feed Rashford off that second ball in behind. So I wonder if you start Gillian, do you have Cosgrove drop deep and then have the likes of Brook and Randall looking to play Gillian in behind, you know, or does Randall shift in there and Mai started and move to left wing or something, you know, maybe something like that can just possibly open you guys up with that high line from the goal kick. But yeah, we'll wait and see, and yeah.
I mean, we've got James's time. We didn't have him for the last derby, so.
And honestly, that probably makes that idea even more valid because you'd have to draw James out of defence in order to counter that Cosgrove header, which, like, Corica, if you're listening, the run on Saturday.
Doesn't care about what we're saying.
Hey.
If he's listening, then.
If he goes to the Lockie Brook 10 after the Football Fever podcast, I'm still claiming that. I called that back in like round 3. I'm still claiming that as my shout. Same as my matter. Same as that my matter combination. I think that pretty much wraps up what we want to talk about, unless there's anything else.
Not that I can think off the top of my head.
Sweet as. We'll wrap it up there for the night. Thank you everyone for tuning in, especially with the later starts. Yeah, we'll see everyone around. Cheers.
See everyone tomorrow. Come and support us. Grab a
Yeah,
coffee.
that's right. Yeah, 6 a.m. I'll start streaming. Danny will join us 6:30. We'll basically go through the pots, have a look at everything, and see what potential New Zealand has, what potential chance we have.
They're gonna win it.
That's right. World Cup's ours. We've already won 3.
Yeah, we're going for it.